let's say that you're the police, like you, the viewer watching this, right? You are the police. There is this big sort of political issue. There's two sides to it. There's a lot of people in London on one side or the other, right? And you've been told, someone's decided, listen, we got to arrest the ringleader of one of these groups. We got to arrest him right now. He's in Central London, we got to arrest him. What's the number one thing that you would be thinking? We've got to arrest the ringleader of one of these groups in London. It's packed full of supporters, etc., etc., etc. The number one thing you would be thinking is, how are we going to do this quietly? How are we going to do this so nobody notices? How are we going to do this in a way that is going to cause the least amount of friction, potential for people to get upset? You know, we need to do this as quickly and as quietly as possible. That's what you would be thinking, because you're the police. One of the main things you're employed to do is to keep the peace. You know, you're the establishment. The establishment doesn't want everyone at each other's throats. They don't want to wind everyone up and have chaos and division. That would make it really hard for them to rule over everyone if everyone was divided all the time. Everybody knows the common saying, bring together and rule. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows the common saying, get everyone on the same page and rule. Everyone knows that. You wouldn't want to divide people. Okay? You would want to arrest this guy as quickly and quietly as possible. On the other hand, if you wanted to create as much racial tension, political tension, if you wanted to really sort of ramp up the violence on the streets and really try and get hold of everyone's emotions and work everyone up into some kind of death frenzy, I mean, I guess then what you would want to do is arrest this guy as publicly as you could, using as many police officers wearing bright colors as you could. You'd want to make sure all the media were right there. You'd want to make sure there was loads of noise and there's shouting and pulling and everything. That's what you would want if you were trying to cause a disturbance, if you were trying to wind everyone up. If this was all sort of staged, that's what you'd want. Interesting. Move back! We're making a secret arrest! Move back! We're secret arresting Sarah Robinson! Move back! Sorry, look, the longer version of this is one of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, what you're watching is 367 officers to arrest one man for 55 minutes in front of 87 cameras. Move back! We're making a secret arrest! Like, these guys are so bad at this. I assume these units, you know, these sort of dress-up, make-believe units that are out there to make high-profile arrests, to cause division and get everyone worked up. I assume that they train for this all the time. But it just looks like one of the fakest things you've ever seen in your entire life. At one point, I swear that a guy shouts like, "Turtle up! Turtle! Do the magic turtle! Turtle!" Like that's a formation that they use. Turtle!
You are under arrest? What am I under arrest for?
You can tell how taken in people are by this sort of thing, by sort of the captions. New footage via blah, blah, blah. Here we can see the full assault and tear gassing on the native journalists via thugs from Carnes Met, Cheshire, and maybe other forces. It's like, yeah, do you ever stop to wonder, like, how is there a camera shooting this from, like, 30 centimeters away? How are you getting, like, an EastEnders level footage of this? Bearing in mind everything I said at the start of the video, where you would want to do this secretly and as quietly as possible if you were sort of a real police chief. You know? And it's the narrative is just being seeded at every point. Oh, oi! Oi, what am I being arrested for? I haven't done nothing wrong. This is really unfair, and this should wind everyone up. Shut up, you scum. Ow! Ow, you hit me right in my eye. That makes this about 50 times worse, officer. Everyone should be like 100 times more angry now because of what you are. You hit me in my other eye. Get that on camera too.
What am I under arrest for, please?
Watch your back! Move out of the way!
Let him go! Let him go! Let him go!
Put bubble on! Bubble on! Bubble!
Sorry, that was it. It was bubble. It wasn't turtle. Bubble! Bubble up! Bubble! Hubble bubble! Hubble bubble! You ever just watched real police work? Oh, I absolutely love the voice actors that they have shouting in, playing like the distressed waif. Shame on you lot! Shame, this is a disgrace! This is going to wind up the public! Times 5! I tell you what, this is really escalating the situation, what you're doing here. We're catching it all on about 10 videos. But every now and then, someone in a giant yellow shirt's going to move in front of the camera to make it look as though we're struggling to get this footage. But really, we're capturing everything. Oi! Oi!
Move back! You're obstructing us! You're obstructing the police! Move!
Hey! Oh, you're obstructing the police! Oi! We're trying to make a secret arrest! Oi! Oh, you're obstructing the police! We're trying to arrest this guy secretly! Stop! Oi! Get my full beard in the camera, oi! We're trying to do this without anyone know who we are! I'm trying not to get my face on camera, stop!
Out of the way!
Clear the way! You're obstructing the police! Move back! Move back!
Why are you hitting him? She's sitting there with her lines. Why are you hitting him? Stop! Whilst Tommy Robinson's like doing all this. Like, wait a minute, sorry. You telling me you're struggling to get away, are you? What are you, Jason Bourne? You're surrounded by like 500 officers. Like, you wouldn't just calmly be like, okay, so you're going to arrest me. You're like, ah! 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 I'm not trying to draw attention to the scenario. Ah! Ah!
Move back! Move back!
Containment around him. Come on.
Do you see the way the guy goes, subject secure, after like a full like 2 minutes of 70 guys surrounding him? You're telling me you're not drawing this out for the cameras? You're telling it took 50 of you 2 minutes surrounding the guy at all times to get this guy under arrest? That's what you're telling me? You're telling me this is the quickest you could, this is the best? The best in the country at being policemen? It took 50 of you 2 minutes to put handcuffs on a guy, which, by the way, Tommy Robinson sends another video from the police van, like from his phone. It's like, I thought he had handcuffs on. Like, none of this adds up.
What'd you pepper spray him? Spray him for? Move forward! Forward! Move back! Move back! Move back!
Did you hear that noise? That noise is the most telling that this is scripted and it's fake. Like, somebody literally goes like, "Ow!" like that. Like, why would you make that noise? Like, it's like a member of the public, "Ow!" Like, it's the type of noise that you'd make if you were sort of boarding a pirate ship and somebody rammed a cutlass through like your rib cage. Like, why would anyone need to make that noise in this scenario? One man's had handcuffs on him and he's being taken down the street, you know, and someone's making a noise like he's been hit with an axe. There is nothing in this video that justifies this noise. Let me isolate it for you. The acting it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. And I know this will get a lot of people upset. A lot of people will be upset because people don't like to think of their heroes as their saviors, as being in on it, you know. And a lot of the stuff that people like Tommy Robinson talk about is legitimately, you know, going on. It's like the message that these people have, like, oh, you know, they're flooding your country with people from another country that come over here and they rape people and they murder people and the government covers it up. Yeah, all this is true. All this is true. But what I need you to see is that we're at the point now where the government wants you to know about it. They want you to know that you're being absolutely screwed and people are being stabbed and raped. And they want you to get really angry about it so that you go absolutely mental. And so that there's wars in the streets. And then they can come in and crack down and bring in the military or bring in like digital ID or, you know, there's a problem, reaction, solution. And whenever the government want to escalate things, whenever they want the far right to get really upset, they just arrest Tommy Robinson as publicly as they can, and then they have him be like, oh, you've hurt both of my eyes, and then someone goes like, "Aah!" like to make the whole thing as dramatic as they possibly can. And then after the arrest, you know, it's like something out of Saved by the Bell. Or, you know, it's Saved by the Bell, where they stop and they talk to the camera. It just reminds me of when Tommy Robinson just comes out of a police cell and it's just like, hey, how you doing? Oh, yeah, they just arrested me. Oh, let me tell you what's going on. Like, and no one else is there. It's so hilarious.
Tommy, how you doing?
I'm all right, man.
Good.
Absolutely insane.
So let me get this straight. He's just walking through a door at a police station, right? After he's just been arrested and 700 officers all over him. And then he just walks through the door. He's like, hey, it's my mate with the camera pointed right at the door. How's it going? Unbelievable. What's just happened? Let me give you the full story. Because you, my friend, just happened to be standing there pointing a camera at this door, and then I just happened to walk through it, and I just happened to be holding a little document about everything that's going on. It's just the perfect time for me to just sort of unravel the whole narrative to you. And you just happened to be pointing that camera at the door in the police station at the exact time I walked through it. Hey, how's it going? I'm not even surprised to see you. Hey, man. How's it going? Yeah, you know when they had 500 officers all over me? Well, now there's absolutely no one anywhere near me. You could just film me coming straight out this door. Yeah, and I was totally not surprised by you being there because it's the most natural thing in the world when you walk through a door in a police station to have one of your friends just filming the door as you walk through it. And what's the point of all this? Like, well, why would they do this? What's the point? Well, what's the takeaway from this going to be? The takeaway from this is going to be, wow, the police have really got these incredible powers to just crack down unfairly on anyone that stands up to the establishment. I mean, look what happened to Tommy Robinson. Look what they can just do to you. You know? Oh, man, they can just pepper spray you and lock you up, and he hasn't even done anything wrong. And I guess anyone else who's thinking about, you know, really standing up to the establishment should sort of really look at what happened to Tommy Robinson and know that they've just got these powers to just destroy your life. And, you know, that's really the story here. That's why it's in HD. That's why it's from 55 angles. That's why it looks like an episode of Home and Away. Hey, man. Oh, yeah. Just come out of the door of the police station. Hey, you've just got a document here about everything that's happened. You know? That's why. That's why, you know, I'm sure, without even looking, I'm sure people like Lawrence Fox are like retweeting it everywhere. Oh my God, look what happened to Tommy Robinson. This is absolutely unfair. People should be really, really scared and standing up against the establishment. And I'm totally against this happening, but let me just share it everywhere so that everyone sees the arrest of Tommy Robinson that I know the establishment really wants everyone to see. Let me just share it around. That's what the controlled opposition network is for. When they want the opposition to feel a certain way, they film these staged events. And then they have their leaders of the resistance who really work for them, share them around and broadcast them. And, you know, it's really a giant manipulation of your emotions. And I know it really upsets people when they have these heroes and they think, well, Tommy Robinson's going to save me or Russell Brand's going to save me. And when people do videos and stuff and they point out the obvious holes in stuff like this, it really makes people angry because they don't want to have their hope taken away. And listen, I sympathize. But if your hope's in Tommy Robinson, I think it's misguided. And that's why, when your hope is in Jesus Christ, none of this stuff rattles you. None of this stuff rattles you because nobody can take that hope away. And ultimately, if your hope is in any man on this earth to save you, it's not going to work out well for you, especially the guy that's going to come and bring peace, because that guy's going to be the Antichrist. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is another video. If you would like to support this channel, the link is in description. We do need people to support this channel because we're heavily shadow banned, etc., etc., etc. And listen, it's not popular pointing out stuff like this. But there's a lot of people that agree with the points that I made in this video. And a lot of people's eyes are starting to be opened. Okay? A lot of people are starting to exercise more and more discernment. Like, a lot of people are starting to be like, okay, yeah, this seems really staged. And people are starting to wake up. You know? So, if you want to support this channel, you can. If not, you can't. And that's the size of it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly had a good laugh making it. And, see you in the next video. Stop him. He's getting away.